Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars start their AFC South title defense against the Indianapolis Colts this week to start off the 2023 NFL season. They are flying to Indianapolis. I think it's going to be a great game because it could be a potential fun young quarterback matchup that we will start to see blossom as Anthony Richardson is also getting his first NFL start. But before we break down the game and our predictions, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever new videos are made by Tracy Take. Also leave a comment and let us know who you think is going to win. It helps us out with the algorithm. And also, too, we just kind of love hearing your opinions about it. Maybe it opens up maybe a different way to look at how these teams are playing. So, Ryan, let's get into it here. There's just so many question marks with Indianapolis. It is hard for me to see them pulling out the shocking week one upset. I know Sanders did that, where it's like no one could really see it happening here, and I think
I do see a way that it could happen.
Well, so Anthony Richardson does have that explosiveness, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is good, not great, so I think they can exploit it. But they're not going to have Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be interesting to see, but I'm curious your thoughts. How do you think Indianapolis can win this game?
So for me, this Jags offensive line is a little bit in shambles right now. They have 2 new tackles. The interior of this offensive line was, I actually think it was pretty good. However, this Colts front 7 on the defensive side of the ball is really good. I forget the name of the defensive tackle that they have.
DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner, yeah. I always want to say Solomon Thomas, but that was a different 49ers defensive tackle. DeForest Buckner leading the way. This front 7 is really good. And so for me, I think if the Colts are going to win this game, it's going to be a 17-14 just knockout, drag down fight every stretch of the way. And even then, I still would kind of favor Jacksonville because that if it's that type of game, they need 1 or 2 big plays and then they have it in the bag. So that to me is going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see Anthony Richardson's first start. I do think this defense is actually a pretty good team to get your first start against just because, like you said, they're good, not great. So it's going to be good exposure to NFL level talent, but you're not going up against a Bill Belichick mind that's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. So that's going to be interesting for me. But all in all, I do really favor Jacksonville. They're a 5-point road favorite. I would say this will probably end up being like a 31-17 type game. So.
I can see that. I think there are just so many weapons for Indianapolis to cover where I think it will turn into a shootout, and that's not what Indianapolis wants. I think they want it to be I think they want to have 10-minute drives.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that they're just there yet, even though without Richardson can play and if Jonathan Taylor does come back and that relationship is healed. I absolutely think that that's something that they could do. But it's just hard for me to see how they're going to cover Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram. Then that's not including whichever running backs in the backfield. Could be Travis Etienne, could be Tank Bigsby.
Yeah.
If it's Etienne, he definitely could go out for a pass. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot. I think the Colts are definitely in the rebuilding stage now. They've moved on from several key pieces through trade, Stephon Gilmore being one, for example. And so then you draft the rookie quarterback here. I think you're just kind of expecting the worst, hoping for the best with this season. And I just think I don't believe this game is in Indianapolis, but Jacksonville has had Indianapolis number over the past couple of years. I know it's totally random, but they, even when the Colts were good and were a playoff team and Jacksonville was not, they just would always beat the Colts.
So this is a funny tangent, but I was living at home this time last year, and it was week 2, and or maybe it's week 3, I forget. But the Colts had just beat Kansas City, and they were playing at Jacksonville next week. So Dad was like, "Oh, we should drive down and go see them." And we ended up at the last minute deciding not to go. Like Saturday, we were like, "Oh, we'll drive down in the morning, get there, watch the game." Well, that game, the Jaguars were up 24-0 at halftime. So we were very glad we did not make that drive all the way down there. But
I think too that was a game. I don't even think the Colts cracked like 200 off.
The Colts didn't have a first down in the first half, I believe.
Yeah.
That was
I think that was a game. They didn't have Jonathan Taylor, didn't have Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
And they didn't have somebody else as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just it was abysmal.
Yeah, it was really bad. But anyways, I only say that because you mentioned that they have had Indianapolis's number, and that just kind of, I think, is true. Sometimes teams just have the number of another team, and I think Jacksonville definitely has one up on the Colts. So sounds like we're both siding with the Jags here. The over-under is 45. That is an interesting number because I think Jacksonville could really put up a lot of points, but I don't foresee the Colts putting up more than like 17, like maybe 20 with a couple field goals in there. So for me, that'd be kind of hard to go over on that. But anyways, both have the Jags winning. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win this game and why. And other than that, we will see you guys next time.